think the important thing is that we keep the Rocky Horror spirit all year round. Despite this game developer's best efforts, we found it.
Yeah, so I complained on the show about how this game wasn't coming out in October like they said it would. It came out on October 20th.
But how would you know that?
I don't know.
Did you put it on your wish list?
I did.
Did they announce it?
Nope.
Exactly.
I didn't get an email from Steam. Nothing.
All right. But before we complain...
Oh, by the way, I beat this game this morning. It's not that long.
Before we complain too much, though, about how they released this game and didn't tell anybody, why don't you announce this show?
Sure. Welcome back to Watson and James Don't Play. My name is Brad Majors.
And I'm Rocky for this episode.
Right. And did Brad and Rocky ever do the deed?
Yep. A lot, actually.
Oh, several times.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the version where Rocky speaks? In most versions, he does speak, but there are some versions out there of Rocky Horror where Rocky does not actually speak.
Huh.
It's weird.
I guess, I mean, he's got a song.
He's got a song, I know.
So what do you mean he doesn't speak?
Exactly. I didn't look in any further than that. I just know that that's a thing that exists.
Weird.
Most versions, Rocky talks because he has to, because he sings a song.
I really appreciate you not reading all this text. Because everybody knows...
I already read the text, but I can't skip it.
Everybody knows how this starts.
Yeah.
Right? It's a rainy night. Brad and Janet are out on the road. Flat tire, yada yada.
Just got engaged.
Right, that's true. That's relevant.
They pull up to a castle.
Yep.
And they go, this castle's probably got a phone. It's a castle.
Right.
Surely nothing weird happens in this castle in the middle of nowhere.
I'm telling you, anytime you pull up to a castle and Tim Curry answers the door, just leave.
Right. Well, they didn't know Tim was there yet.
You don't know if there's going to be a dead body or if there's going to be space aliens.
The much more normal-looking riffraff opened the door.
Oh, we got a bus.
Yeah.
It does look like a... Why is it a bus?
I don't know. They're in a bus now. In the movie, they're in a car.
Right.
But this is a full-on bus,
maybe
right?
It's just a weird front view.
I don't know. They took some liberties with the character designs because they probably had to.
I'm sure there's a fair amount of, yeah.
Like, Frankenfurter kind of looks like Tim Curry. We'll get there. Not quite. Just looks like Frankenfurter more than anything, you know?
Character's name is Tim Hot Dog.
Oh, Mr. Hot Dog, you finally appeared. He's already in drag. This is just how I dress.
Brid and Jonet. You couldn't even do real names.
How many Rocky Horror things do you own, personally?
None.
None? Oh. I have the soundtrack on vinyl.
Okay.
It's on red vinyl. It looks great. It's awesome.
That's worth having. I would own that.
You know,
but most of it, no.
You're just not really into it.
Look, hot take. The movie falls apart in the third act.
We've discussed that before, about how it's not great after the main songs are sung. I don't disagree with that. It drags on, then it slows down.
But beyond
then shit gets weirder somehow.
But beyond the live experience of seeing it with an audience, yeah, I mean, why would I have merchandise?
I guess.
You know
I figured
what I mean?
you'd have the soundtrack at least. I thought that was just a thing that people like you and I are required to own.
You know what?
I almost said people like you.
You know what? People like you. You know what I was looking up on eBay the last time I watched this movie was the Rocky Horror Punk Rock Show compilation album that came out in the early 2000s.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool.
Yeah, they have some like Groovy Ghoulies, Alkaline Trio, a bunch of bands like that.
Covering the songs, I guess.
Covering the soundtrack,
yeah.
You can find it on eBay for like regular CD prices. So if you want to know what it was like to spend $16 on a CD,
go to eBay and find out.
Go buy it. But it's worth having. It's not on Spotify. That's why I looked it up on eBay. I'm not just that big of a nerd like I insisted on having it.
Right.
I was trying to just put it on Spotify or whatever. It's probably on YouTube, though. People can check it out.
Speaking of Spotify, what is Spotify Wrapped? I've heard warnings about it on the TikTok, and I don't
know what you mean by warning.
I don't know. Someone was warning, like, hey, Spotify Wrapped is coming up. You better get with it. And I'm like, get with what?
Oh.
What does that even mean?
Oh, it's just...
Just explain it to me, because I don't know what it is.
Yes. Spotify just tells you what you've been listening to all year.
Oh. Well, that's okay.
Remember whenever I held my phone up to you and was like, look at how much Steely Dan I listened to last year.
Oh, yeah, okay. That was Spotify Wrapped, huh?
That was Spotify Wrapped.
I didn't know that. Something about being embarrassed by the hyperfixations you have, and I'm just like, the hyperfixations are what makes me, man.
I imagine what you're missing about that quote-unquote warning you saw was that people try to achieve different things. Like, they either try to get, I'm in the top 1% of people who listen to Taylor Swift, or, I'm the person who listened to Ed Sheeran the most last year.
I like the use Ed Sheeran. Makes him sound fancier.
People like that who want to be like, yep, I only listen to fucking Nicki Minaj. Look, all my top 5 songs are all Nicki Minaj songs, or whatever. That's what they're saying. Like, get with it. Like, there's still time to influence the numbers, because it goes by what you listen to.
I'm not good at getting with it, so I'm just going to keep listening to whatever I want.
So, yeah, it'll just tell you, like, oh, you listen to more Weird Al than the average person. That's about what yours is probably going to amount to.
Spotify's going to be like, are you a 17-year-old girl?
A lot of Bette Midler's popping up in here, too, which, fine. But it might be interesting in that way to see, like, what's your top song? What's your top artist? What's your top album?
Are you a girl, former theater kid? The main thing is that, are you female? And I go, fuck, sometimes I guess. I don't know.
So, yeah, people like us, it's just a fun little thing to look at. But obviously people on social media take it a little more seriously sometimes.
I guess so, yeah.
It's a been a thing for several years.
I'm doing the time warp. Look.
It is just a jump to the left.
As I go to the right. You're doing it wrong already.
I don't even know how you're going to be able to put in Rocky Horror clips in this. I feel like the whole thing is probably copyrighted.
I'm not going to.
Aww.
I mean, really, I might. I don't know. We'll see what kind of clips pop up.
You can't punctuate with, like, just exclamations from the movie.
Just, damn it, Janet, occasionally.
Yeah.
All right, I'll think about it. We'll see how I feel.
Sprinkle it in.
It's all very organic. I want to know what the editing process is for other YouTube and content creators. Are you going for a vibe, or are you just winging it? Because one guy that I like, his name's Barron's Castle. Okay. He's a very talented musician. So within his videos, he'll do his own covers of songs.
That's fun.
It's really impressive, and I can tell that tons of time goes into it.
Right.
Because these are fully produced songs that he either wrote or covered, but he did all the music for them. He sings to them. And I go, what a way around the YouTube copyright thing is just make your own shit.
I mean, that's what we do.
Because that's the idea, is that
smaller degree whenever I'm making just looped beats and stuff to put at the beginning and end of our episodes to get around copyright so we don't have to license music.
Yeah, the best way to get around copyright is just create your own thing.
Just make your own. Yeah.
Or do a cover or something like that.
Or just have a friend who's a musician or something like that.
Yeah, not so much a cover, more parody. Do parody.
Parody
is safer than covers as far as copyright law goes.
Yeah, we're not going to make us singing Bohemian Rhapsody the theme song for this show. That doesn't count.
So, for example, the music in this game obviously is from the movie, but it's not the music from the movie. It's just chiptune renditions of it, which is about as safe as you can get. They credit Richard O'Brien at the end of it, but it'll be all right. Probably. We'll find out.
I think if you acknowledge it, and like you said, it's pretty far removed from the actual music. Obviously, there's no lyrics. There's nothing like that. So, yeah, it's a pretty safe bet that it'll be all right.
We won't know until we post the video. So if you're watching this right now and it's still here, that means we're okay.
That means it worked, and I'm proud of us. So let's talk actual Rocky Horror experiences. Like I said, the live experience, that's what I remember. I remember just watching it with friends and then going to showings of it. What did you do? How did you come across Rocky Horror?
I was pretty young when I heard about it. I watched it in high school. The other weird kids were like, you got to see this. We couldn't believe it existed.
Yeah, it seemed like such a singular thing. It's like an artifact.
We couldn't believe it existed in the time that it existed either. Not just the early 2000s, but when it came out.
Oh, sure.
I can't believe it happened in the first place. Especially at the time that it happened.
Well, it's that thing that they say about cult movies in general, is if you set out to make one, you're going to fail. You're probably just going to make a bad movie.
Sure.
But every once in a while, everything kind of comes together, the whole team, the cast, the writing, the songs, the direction, all of it comes together, and you get this singular vision you
Right.
know, that is clearly just one guy. It's his vision of a movie,
And
of
then
a
you
show.
and then you see the sequel, Shock Treatment, and you go, okay. The same singular vision was put out by Richard O'Brien. All right, he wrote the songs. Is it a better movie?
You like it.
Pation. Sorry, I was waiting. I was holding out for the anticipation.
Oh, still wasn't following the dialogue.
Oh, okay. You're like, I'm still not reading the text.
Won't do it.
I like Shock Treatment more than I do Rocky Horror Picture Show.
There's your hot take.
It is a direct sequel also. Both Brad and Janet were recast. Susan Sarandon's like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I have a real career.
Right. I'm a whole movie star, and I'm not going to be in your schlock anymore. I was in one. One is all you get.
And she was giving it her all, too. Susan Sarandon was great. Great as Janet.
The name of the actress that replaces Janet in the second one escapes me at the moment, but she's also the main character of Phantom of the Paradise. The main lady character, anyway.
Oh, I should know who that is.
Yeah. I don't know who it is either. But she has kind of a lower voice than Susan Sarandon.
Look, I only saw Shock Treatment once, all right?
She's singing an octave down, but I think she's the more talented singer. I think she's a better singer
Whoa.
than Susan Sarandon. I just think Shock Treatment is everything that Rocky Horror was trying to be. And
So-
for whatever reason, Rocky Horror did better.
Okay,
It doesn't make sense to me.
So it's not a case of, like, when bands put out their second album, you know? And whereas all the stuff they really kind of wanted to say was on the first album, and so when it comes time to put out the second album just like a year or two later, they don't have as much to say. Like, there's not as much behind it, not as much built up, you know?
When you hear the songs from Shock Treatment, and
So-
then you hear the songs from Rocky Horror, to me anyway, my opinion is that, the Rocky Horror songs were practice. These are real songs,
So
and
you
there
think
are
it's-
way more songs too.
So you think it's more refined?
It's more refined. It's more well thought out. The songs have more to do with what's actually happening on screen.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's just.
All right.
I've
Like I
seen,
said, I've only seen it once. I only kind of remember it. And I'm also thinking of some old John Waters movies and stuff where they do
Sure.
some Shock Treatment. And I'm like, it's all kind of blending together in my head. I need to go back through and rewatch.
If you want to watch Shock Treatment, it's available in its entirety on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
It did not do well. No one cares that anyone's uploading it.
We could just put it in the middle of this episode. It'd probably be fine.
You need a bit of shock treatment. You're jumping like a real live wire.
Hey, look, I just did, and it's fine. YouTube's like, I don't.
Are you still here? Are you still?
You still here?
All right. Fair enough. I do love these little skeleton guys, though.
They're great, right?
They're adorable.
Oh no, I'm in my underpants. It's got the Ghosts and Goblins life bar, I guess, where as you get hit with stuff, you lose clothes, which is always a good time. And it makes sense for Rocky Horror, too. Not
Right.
so much in Ghosts and Goblins, where you're just in your boxers. But in here, of course.
I like that the characters are kind of abstracted enough, like you said, that, like, that's obviously Frankenfurter.
Yeah, for sure.
But the little sprite's just cute.
They're very adorable. I want to play this on a CRT and see what it looks like.
Ooh.
Because CRTs make sprites look amazing.
Right.
And I bet that since this game was designed with sprites in mind, it would look pretty cool on a CRT. I'm curious as to see if anyone's tried that. Or
Yeah,
is
probably
anyone
would.
going to try it, rather.
Probably really pops. Right?
There are already videos on YouTube of this game being played in its entirety. It takes about an hour to finish, maybe.
That makes sense.
You got just a quick, fun little thing. Like I said, I played the entire game this morning and beat it. And it was great. It was a good time.
Look, I'm of the opinion that essentially the movie should end after the pool orgy.
You're like, that's it. We
And
did it.
They lived happily ever after.
They lived happily ever after in their poly commune.
Right. It worked. Everything went.
It worked, right.
Everything worked out fine.
See, it's not a super difficult game. The most difficult fight so far has been Eddie for me, because you can't actually kill him.
God, I love Meatloaf's song.
Is that your favorite song from the movie, you think?
No.
No?
No.
Do you have a favorite from the movie, or do you just not really care for any of them?
No, I like them.
Okay.
Like I said, the movie works until the third act.
Right. The movie works right up to the point to where it no longer works.
Like I said, that pool, like, I wanted like 5 more minutes of them in the pool. You give Frankenfurter his what would be then his last song, quote unquote, where he
Right.
slows it down, and that's when the credits start playing, just as his song is playing, and you see the credits come up, but he's still on screen. That's how I would end the movie.
I like it. It's a good idea. But that's not what happened.
No, that's what happened.
Oh, that's what happened? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Make your own cut of the movie. Wait, are you stuck? Did I break the game?
The hardest part of doing that would probably be inventing the time machine to go back and make that the ending. But so just in my mind.
This is not what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm sensing that. It's kind of vamping.
In this scene, Eddie's supposed to run back and forth. And sometimes he jumps at you, sometimes he runs really fast and slams into the wall. The idea is that these things do not hurt him, and they explode after. You can't reuse them like the other stuff you can throw in the game.
Interesting.
And then eventually, Frankenfurter is supposed to come down here
There he
and
is.
kill him. There he is. This was a lot more difficult earlier today.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. That couldn't have gone better. Yeah, that took me like 5 or 6 tries earlier today. And now it just kind of broke.
The game threw you a bone.
The game knew that, oh, these guys are recording this. All right, we want to get as much as we can in the half-hour window that they have. And we get a lot more done if I could skip these texts, these massive text crawls.
The game really only takes a half an hour, but with the text crawls,
And it does.
It's a full hour.
It types them out like this, and I get it. You're trying to go for the whole unskippable NES lore drops.
And keep it
from
at a certain
yesteryear.
pace. Like you said, it's not a very difficult game, so it moves pretty quickly. You want to keep it paced well by kind of slowing it down here. There's that time machine I need again.
They have one in the movie, kind of. It's unclear exactly what their transit beam is.
Unfucking clear.
It's very vague about, are they aliens? Is Transylvania a planet or a galaxy? Because in the game they call it the galaxy of Transylvania, but in the movie it's the planet of Transylvania. And I go, I'm getting mixed signals here.
No, he specifically says at the end, right, that he's going back to the planet.
Yeah.
So it's a planet
Oh no, the planet is transsexual, and the galaxy's Transylvania.
in the galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I had to think about it.
From transsexual Transylvania.
I had to rewind the movie in my brain because I got a lot of it memorized. I've seen it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've only ever seen it live once. It was in Webb City, Missouri, just outside of Joplin, Missouri.
Shout
Shout out to Barry.
This is a show about a woman trying to help her daughter leave an abusive relationship in Joplin, Missouri.
Yes, that's right.
Was that tough?
Yes?
All right, great. And who do you think should be the next Spider-Man?
Joplin, Missouri.
And there was like a one-screen theater, and they rented it out for the night. I wonder what the deal was, though, because they played it on a DVD player projected on the screen. So I guess all they had in the theater was an actual projector, and they're like, no, we don't have the film reels to Rocky Horror. You're getting the DVD version. And it was fine. And we threw paper plates, we threw bread,
Spoons.
we all yelled.
Oh, it is a good time.
There was a V on my forehead because that was the first time I'd ever seen it live.
As much as we're talking about, some of the flaws of the movie, it is worth seeing live 100%.
There's as much as we're talking about, virgins. No, wait, not that. Master,
I
the
think-
laboratory is empty. Rocky has vanished. There, see, I got some text read in.
I think you just said a little more about yourself than you did me.
That's all I do on this show.
It's true.
Is I dig deep and I let out some serious stuff.
I love how revealing you get when we're playing Rocky Horror of all things.
Speaking of revealing, Janet is vulnerable.
I'm
Vulnerable.
She's pretty into it in the movie.
This was one of the more difficult parts of the game because you're not wearing clothes, so you don't have like an extra. You can't be hit once. You cannot be
Right.
hit when playing as Janet.
It's like the equivalent of being small Mario.
Yeah, basically. I am small Janet.
I'm small Janet. But no, she's she's probably my favorite character, honestly. Janet.
Oh, Janet?
Maybe.
I'm a Riff Raff guy. I like Riff Raff. I think it's great.
You know what it is? I like that Janet just kind of goes with it, and she's immediately like, "Yeah, all right, that's fine." And I'm gonna seduce Rocky too, and like just totally lean into this. Whereas Brad's more timid,
Yeah, Brad keeps it in. He's like, no, I can't do this. I love Janet. And Janet's like, I'm mad for Brad, but I don't love him. Come on.
Right.
It's right in the song.
That's what I'm supposed to do, is just be with Brad and be totally milquetoast and boring. But no, I'm going to embrace this when the opportunity comes along. That's what I respect about Janet.
I think Milquetoast is my favorite starting character in Bloodborne.
Okay.
I want to say that there's a... So when you're picking out your character,
That was a real left turn.
the game start just hearing the word Milquetoast reminded me of that as an option for the character.
Reminds me of Don Knotts.
You can start as like a
whatever teach their own.
Yeah, you can start as like a soldier, a vagabond, or something like that, and then one of the options
or a
is
white bread.
Milk toast piece of human garbage.
That's a game we need to play on the show. We've played the PS1 version that somebody made. That's not quite the same. I need to get the PS4 hooked up and actually play
Get
Bloodborne
your life
on the
together.
show. I'm doing the best I can, really. I'm a piece of shit, though, because all my Christmas decorations are already up.
That was a little bit jarring.
Was that jarring for
when
you?
I pulled up.
Sure. I could see that being as like, oh, that's odd. Why would you do that? I have a lot of them.
Well, it's like I told you, I just can't sustain that level of Christmas spirit or holiday spirit, whatever you want to say, for 2 fucking months.
Sure, and I can respect that.
It feels like really like stapling the smile on your face. Like, yep, we're just committing to this.
I didn't staple the smile on my face. I stapled the smile on the front yard where the Jack and Sally inflatables live.
Although technically, I will say it does bridge the gap from Halloween because it is Nightmare Before Christmas themed decorations.
Yeah, and while I was putting them up, I kind of thought to myself, I go, all right, it's Christmas stuff, but it's still spooky. This still counts. It's fine.
And you thought to yourself, fuck Thanksgiving.
Yes, absolutely. Fuck Thanksgiving.
It's just a dinner party. That's all Thanksgiving really is.
And you eat too much. So much.
It's great. Look, don't get me wrong. I love the foods. They're all my favorite comfort foods. Meat, potatoes, and casseroles, and pie, and all that stuff. Fantastic. But like you said, you eat too much. By the next week, after you've eaten all the leftovers and shit every day, you're sick of it and lethargic. It's just, it's a little too much.
Yeah, you've gained 40 pounds, but you didn't become the next D. You really dropped the ball.
Damn it, Janet.
This makes me want to play the
Oh, jeez. Oof.
the Scott Pilgrim game, too.
Yeah, that's not nearly as forgiving as this one. That's a whole game. This is a romp.
This is just fun.
This is an hour
That's
romp.
a game.
Like I
I
died,
know.
right? It put me right back at the beginning of the screen. Not the level or not even the halfway
Right.
point, but the beginning of the screen. It's like, try again, champ.
Yeah, you got this.
I want you to see everything. We worked really hard on this.
Here you go, little one. It is adorable, though.
It's pretty cute.
But that's why I like the Scott Pilgrim game, too. Adorable sprites, That's all the game really needs for me. It's just, as long as the mechanics are not completely broken and the designs are cute, I'm into it.
Did you play the TMNT Rewind game that came out maybe a year ago or so? It's like an arcade beat 'em up game, but Ninja Turtles. It's great.
I would play that.
Yeah, looks fun. I want to say either the same people or someone that copied their idea is making a Power Rangers game that comes out December 10th of this year.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be an arcade-style beat-em-up Power Rangers game, which we'll absolutely play on the show because a new Power Rangers thing has come out, and I go, I got to buy it.
You know who's got endless things to say about the Power Rangers?
Got a lot of strong opinions.
That guy right there.
Oh, shit.
Ugh.
Damn it, Janet.
You want to play this? You want to give it a shot?
No, I'm just thinking about all the times you're going to have to put Damn It Janet in.
Oh, so many.
So many.
Not too many. It's my Chinese food day.
Oh, that's true. This is your cheat day.
It's all right. It's
Cheat
not
day
my,
like you're a bodybuilder or something. No, it's just a day you just eat Chinese food.
Yeah, that's all it is. Cheat day is Thursday. That's the day where I eat carelessly. Today, it's still just chicken.
He ate
It's just a different version of chicken.
carelessly. So every day for me. I went ahead and got the extra cheese when I ordered a pizza the other night.
God damn it. What is that like? I haven't had pizza in ages.
And then-
I don't even remember what it tastes like.
And then we ordered pizza at work yesterday. So
Of course you did, because I wasn't there.
I had pizza Friday and Saturday. There's still like half a pizza left in my fridge that I'll probably eat after I leave you here. And I'll poop normally.
And that's what I was about to ask. I'm like, so what's the BM like?
You're like, so there's a major blockage, right? That's like a catastrophe.
Like you're gonna have a bad time. No, it'll affect me not in the slightest.
0.
Reminds me of Robin Hood Men in Tights, where he goes to talk to Prince John. That's the prince, right?
Little John.
Little John.
King Richard.
King Richard. And what's his brother's name, though? What's the prince's name?
I don't remember from Men in Tights. I don't remember.
All right. Well, he goes to talk to Richard Lewis.
Right. Thank you. Just say Richard
He
Lewis.
just goes to talk to Richard Lewis, and he goes,
Had a good night's sleep. Had a good BM.
and when I was a kid, I didn't really understand. Okay,
Yeah, what's the big deal?
what's the big deal? Like, you had a good BM. What does
Yeah.
that even mean? You had a good BM?
They're all kind of the same.
They're just BMs.
A pretty good standard going here.
Cut to 25 years later. Oh no, I get it.
You're like, oh, lucky.
Lucky, a good BM. Where it just happens and you go on with your day. It's not this big event where your legs fall asleep because you're stuck on the toilet for 30 minutes.
No, I'm pretty.
You got pretty quick breaks. You got pretty quick visits.
I'm a pretty regular, and yeah, under 10 minutes.
Oh, damn. Incredible.
Easily under 10 minutes too. I'm not talking like 9.5. I'm talking like 5.
Enjoy while you can, because when you're my age, shit falls apart.
That's true. I got another 6 months.
You got another 6 months before that's it.
To
Your
enjoy
life is
this.
over.
It goes down that fast, huh? Just slides down that old hill
Something slides down.
right towards the Sugarfoot.
I like these floating brains. Oh, so cool.
Floating brains is never not a good idea.
Never goes out of style.
It's always in style.
I liked I liked Mother Brain from Captain N. Did you watch that show?
I did not.
Okay. I don't think anyone else did either, but I remember it being on like the public access channel pretty quickly when I was a kid.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put something up to.
Oh, yeah, I'll
remind
put
people,
something in
'cause
there.
The people don't know.
Mother Brain's fun.
Yes, Queen Mother Brain, supreme dictator of Videoland.
If I don't know, other people don't know. That's how the world works.
That's how our world works to a certain degree.
Right, just like when I go to sleep, nothing happens in the world.
Shut it down. Watson's in bed.
Shut it
really?
all down.
I said shut it down.
Background actors back to 1. Get ready to start tomorrow.
This is going to be tough. This is tricky. Tricky spot here. Luckily, there are almost zero consequences. I'm right back where I started.
I'm the only one to actually be in a Truman Show scenario and really enjoy it.
Everything's planned out for you.
Like, it drives Truman crazy and he wants to get out of it. I would just be like, oh, this is awesome. Can I have a hand in casting my wife?
Are you trying to tell me my whole day is planned out for me? Everything around me is scripted?
Everything's going to be fine. That's the thing, is they're never going to have Truman be a bum on the street.
He's never in danger, not
He's
really.
never in danger. He's got hot chicks with perspective.
Hot chicks with perspective. Oh, thank God.
Hot chicks as perspective wives and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you got a good best friend. I don't know. Maybe that's just how bad society is now,
Who's
is that
literally
we envy Truman.
His best friend is always there for him, literally and figuratively. He just is nearby because he's a cast member. This is his job, is to be nice to Truman. Yeah, I get it. I see the appeal of that.
And I genuinely think Truman's a good guy too, because he has such a huge audience that has been watching him. If he was a little weirdo, being a little creep, people wouldn't watch the show, or like shitty people would watch the show. You know what I mean?
They took a gamble too because he was from birth, right? He was on the show.
They have him in the womb footage of him.
They really lucked out that he wasn't super mentally ill. Like, he didn't have some kind of weird kinks. That
Well,
they
he
had
is
to-
Jim Carrey.
Sure.
So
but
there
they
is-
didn't know that when he was
So
born.
there's the most charismatic actor in the world.
No one knew Jim
They
Carrey.
did really luck out.
Jim Carrey's mom has Jim Carrey and says, "You're going to be on the Truman Show, honey." But I'm Jim Carrey. I don't make... My hands are tied. What do you want from me?
Look, start learning how to talk out of your butthole, okay? Trust me, it's going to come in handy.
Really swing it back, too.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go out on a high note, go out on a good Jim Carrey bit, and get the hell out of here.
All right. Rocky Horror video game on Steam.
I'm gonna say 7.5 out of 10.
It's fine. Yeah, it's a good time.
Isn't that the definition of 5?
This applies to
7.5
you.
out of 10.
This is on Switch. So you can get it, too.
I will not.
It is $10, though.
Nope. I'm still
Don't.
playing Cult of the Lamb.
Nice.
That one's more 8.5, 9 out of 10.
All right. Well, we're going to go. I suck at this
If you're
game.
gonna spend the money, do it on Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Or go just watch Shock Treatment, or watch somebody play the whole version of this.
Whatever you do, don't steal this, though, because it's an indie developer. And
Don't steal
They need the
this.
money.
Yeah.
They need the money. Really.
Yeah. So shout out to Rocky Horror. Love it.
Shout out to piracy. All right. We'll see you later.
You wouldn't steal a game.
Oh, we have a Halloween special, by the way. It's pretty cool.